Oh, you talking about Benjamin?
You want Zechariah 14:1?
We go to it. We shouldn't even have to teach that right there. Apparently you got to. Because apparently, no, y'all going to would y'all be so-called Latinos? No?
No.
Same faith. Not same faith,
You want to bring it up?
Watch it. You're going to have Zechariah 14.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 14, verse 1. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee.
You know?
For I will gather all
It
nations.
says what?
I will gather all
Read it
nations.
again.
I will gather all nations.
The Lord says that He is going to gather all, like, the fact that we even got to teach rape is wrong is a problem. It says that the Lord is going to gather who?
All
So you're
nations
going to have all nations gathered together. Right, we doing?
against Jerusalem
Uh-huh.
to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses raffled, and the women ravished.
For one, it says that He going to bring them against Jerusalem. So if we saying that that's talking about raping, who is it talking about raping?
Israelite.
Right? So it says that, read that part again.
And the city shall be taken.
The city is going to be taken. Right? A lot of people are going to be killed. See, I just can't keep saying the fact that we got to teach rape is wrong is a problem. But apparently that's something that has to be taught. That it's not okay to have sex with somebody against their will. Right? That really comes from the law being done away with. You still got a little bit of Christian in you. Right? Read on.
And the houses riffles.
For one, this is going into a whole bunch of destruction. It's going into a bunch of destruction that's going to come onto somebody's house. Right? Read on.
And the women
It
ravished.
says, and the women are going to be ravished. Ravished means to be raped. Now, you just have to find me where it's righteous to rape somebody. I just don't understand it. For one, it says that all nations are going to be gathered into this place. You know what people love to rape? Arabs. Arabs love to rape. White men love to rape.
Indians got the highest
So
rate.
who? East Indians? The East Indians apparently love to rape too. It's really Islam. That's what it promotes. That's why you got so many homosexuals in prison and so many Muslims in prison, because they go to jail, become gay, and once they get dominated by a stronger Muslim, they become Muslim themselves. That's why the Muslim is. They say that Muslims spread by the sword, but it was spread by a different sword. Muslim was spreading because of homosexuality, man. Right? So it says that all nations are going to be gathered together. Houses are going to be ravished. Women are going to be ravished, right? But it's not saying that we going to be the ones doing the ravishing, because I don't want to rape. Even though I hate the so-called white man for what they did to my forefathers, I hate the fact that they raped my foremothers. I would never allow the white man to be my standard of revenge, to be my standard of justice. Because if that's the case, they butt broke the men. I'm just saying, if you gonna get back, see what I'm saying? See where the problem comes in that? Right? Our revenge is gonna be according to who? The Most High, man. Right? The Most High has never promoted rape. Right? Read on.
And half of the city shall go forth into captivity,
Right?
and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city.
Right? So look, that's just kind of going on what's going on. What's going on, bro? Why you back? We talked to him about something. Brother said he threw a nigga through the wall or something. He took. I love the lion spirit, man. We have to calm down. I read that in real quick. I think it's Isaiah chapter, 13 and 16? Like verse 14.
Book Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 14.
You got questions? Got questions?
I'm so troubled, man. I feel like you guys might be talking about something that some sort of Italian.
Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 14.
That's not our book.
And it shall be as the chase
It
road.
shall be his what?
As the chase road.
Matter of fact, start 2 verses above that.
Isaiah 14 and verse Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 12.
Uh-huh.
Get out! I will make a man more precious than fine gold,
I really wish that that Israel understood what this verse is even talking about. Like when it says that he shall make a man more precious than fine gold. Right now, everybody values what? They value money. You know what I'm saying? Everybody right now values money. They value gold. They think that gold is the most precious thing that you can ever obtain, especially women. They don't want to submit to a man, but they want to go out and they want to make their money. They in a hot girl era. Where it's going to come a day where a man is going to be so much more valuable than money. It's so much more valuable than gold. Right? And how is that going to happen? That's going to happen through the pressure that the Most High puts you. Through going through the fire. You get refined. You get beaten into shape until you become this pure gold. Right? We going?
Even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
Right? It says even a man more precious than the golden wedge of Ophir. A wedge is talking about like a thick piece of gold that was worth a lot of money. But a day is going to come when you're going to value a man of the Lord so much more than you're going to value gold. Right? Read on. Right.
Therefore I will shake the heavens.
It says therefore I will what?
I will shake the heavens.
The Most High said that he's going to shake the heavens. It's talking about the other governments, the other nations. The reason that it calls them a heaven, because where do we look to when we say we look into heaven? We look up. But what do we also do with Joe Biden? We look up to that nigga. Right. We look up to Trump. We look up. God damn. Tweet. We look up to Bishop T.D. Jakes and Geno Jennings. Right? There is going to be no more room for them when a precious man, when a fine man, finer than a gold or fur, comes into the table. Right?
And the earth shall remove out of her place.
Come on.
In the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as the chaste roe.
It says it shall be as what?
As the chaste roe.
A chaste roe is talking about like a deer. It's being chased. Because what are you chasing this deer for? To kill it. To catch it. To kill it. Right? You're chasing this deer to kill it. Right? Read on.
And as a sheep that no man taketh up.
A sheep that no man taketh up. What is that talking about? Brothers, remember when we went to the lamb slaughter? I don't think nobody was here. When you go to the lamb slaughter, you know what you have to do? Because a lamb, you can't just be like, come here. Kind of tie a rope around his neck and lead him on. You gotta pick his ass up and you gotta take him over to your thing. You gotta lay him down. You gotta cut his throat. Then you gotta string him up. It says that a lamb that no man picketh up. Right? Read on.
They shall every man turn to his own people and flee every one into his own land.
In order for you not to get killed, you must be around your own people. You must be around your own people. Because what's going to happen if you don't? Read on.
Everyone that is found shall be thrust through.
Everybody that is around a nation of people that they should not be around is going to be thrust through.
Right.
If you go and you hang around the Arabs, they're going to kill you. I don't know how many pictures and videos and viral stories we done watched about going on camping trips or spending the night with a group of white people. What's going to happen? You're going to come up missing and you're going to die. Right, read on.
And everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
And the people that are joined unto the other nations are going to fall by the sword. Right, read on.
Their children also shall be dashed to pieces.
Oh, it says what?
Their children also shall be dashed to pieces.
So the children of the people that are hanging around these nation of people, like what do we name? We name white people, we name Arabs, and we name East. For one, if you dating the East Indian, what's going on, ugly? Right? If you dating the East Indian, I don't want you near me anyway. Right? Because your standards of life are low. Like, I believe that you leave cheese on the floor for roaches to come into your house. Because they're nasty, they're filthy, right? So it says that their children, the people that choose to be around East Indians, white people, Arabs, their children are going to get put to death, right?
Right.
Before their eyes, their houses shall be spoiled.
It says that that's going to happen before your eyes. You're going to watch the white man mistreat your children. You're going to watch the Arab man mistreat your children. You're going to watch the East Indians mistreat them so bad until they die. Right, read on.
And their wives ravaged.
And the other nations are going to do what?
And their wives ravaged.
It's talking about the Israelites.
And their wives ravaged.
It's saying that the other nations are going to rape your women, which they do now. it's not righteous to rape. I don't know why we gotta teach that, man. This is talking about what the other nations are going to do. If you choose to hang with people of another nation, sisters, it says that what? That wives what?
Their wives ravaged.
You're gonna get raped. You're gonna get killed. They're gonna mistreat your children because that's what they do. That's why the Most High said that we need to be in charge, man. Because we don't molest kids. We don't rape women. We won't unjustly kill anybody, man. That's why the Israelites need to be in charge. All right, is there more on that? That's it. Right? Go to Judges with that. Judges 19. You can start off at 1 till I find where I'm looking for.
It's the book of Judges, chapter 1. Shalaka. It's the book of Judges, chapter 19, verse 1.
You know,
And it came to pass in those days when there was no king in Israel, that there was a certain Levite sojourning on the side of Mount Ephraim.
It says that there was no what in Israel?
No king in Israel.
Right, this is a point where there is no king in Israel. There is no leadership in Israel. Real fast, I think I want Judges 17 and verse 6.
Right. It's the book of Judges, chapter 17, verse 6.
bring it out.
In those days, there was no king in Israel.
So here we are. You're in a place where there is no rulership. You have nobody to give that moral authority of what's right and what's wrong. Kind of like where we are now, which I guess is why I ain't gonna go into it. Right, we know? Right.
But every man did that which was right in his own
It
eyes.
says that when you have incorrect rulership, every man does that which is right in their own eyes, man. What's going on, sis? You believe in the Bible? Right, it says that every man does that which is right in his own eyes. Right? Read on.
Verse 7.
I think that's what I wanted. Right? Now go back over to chapter 19.
Right.
19. Yeah, you can start at verse 1.
Right. It's the book of Judges, chapter 19, verse 1.
Bring it out.
And it came to pass in those days when there was no king in Israel, that there was a certain Levite sojourning on the side of Mount Ephraim.
Right? So now you have a Levite brother who was sojourning in the Mount Ephraim. Right? Read on.
Who took to him a
He
concubine.
took what?
Took to him a concubine
This is why you need to leave these white women alone. Right? Read on.
out of Bethlehem, Judah.
Right?
And his concubine played the whore against him.
And she played the what?
The whore against him.
White women only look at you as toys, man. I don't care how much power you have.
All right.
They don't value you. They never will. You'll always be a pet to them. Every single white woman that remembers what happened in slavery will always pray that same exact thing. You're gonna always be massa's toy. Right? But she played the whore against him, right? We know him?
And went away from him unto her father's house to Bethlehem, Judah,
Right.
and was there for a whole month. And her husband arose and went after her to speak friendly unto her and to bring her again.
Never be this nigga. Right? He went after her after she went and played the whore and then brought her unto him. Right? Because after she played the whore, he went and spoke friendly unto her to get this woman back. Right, read on?
Having his servant with him and a couple of asses, and she brought him unto her father's house.
Right.
And when the father of the damsel saw him, he rejoiced to meet him.
I dropped down to verse 21.
Verse 21,
Matter of fact, you can go to verse 22.
verse 22. Now as they were making their hearts merry, behold, the men of the city, certain sons of Belial, beset the house round about.
It says certain men of Belial set the house round about. Right? Like a man of Belial is just talking about a wicked man. Belial, so like not Belial. Man of Belial is just talking about like a wicked man. Right? It's talking about like the son of Baal. It's this unrighteous, not an unrighteous priest, but brothers get my point. Right, read on.
Beset the house round about, and be at the door, and spec to the master of the house, the
What's
old
going on,
man,
brother? Salaki? Brother, you got time for the Bible? 5 seconds for God.
5 seconds, brother.
We ain't gonna beg it. Right, read on.
saying, bring forth the man that come into thine house, that we may know him.
You got it. Go. He's, might read it again. Salaki.
Right? Saying, bring forth the man that came into thine house, that we may know him.
Right, it says, bring forth the man that came into the house so we may know him. Right, when they try to rape the brother. Right? What's going on, sis? You got time for the Bible? You got 5 seconds for black folks.
5 seconds.
Just 5.
Five
On this
seconds.
good Saturday morning. Right, read on.
Verse 23. And the man,
Right. You going to church tomorrow? We're gonna come back and talk.
and the man, the master of the house, went out unto them and said unto them, Nay, my brethren, nay, I pray you, do not so wickedly, seeing that this man is come unto mine house, do not this folly.
Like the spirit of wanting to rape somebody is a vile thing, to where it won't stop at women. It won't stop at women, because it's just like when you into pornography. It start out so basic, so calm. Next thing you know, you're trying to get gagged by 2 Asian bitches. That's clipping you. That's how it always start off. It get your lust, your desire for it gets worse and worse and worse. Starts to increase. So as you start off by raping this woman, it's not like the same thing happened in slavery. They started off raping the woman until that wasn't enough. That didn't fulfill their lust. They had to start raping who? The men. Anybody who's promoting rape, that's the path that you're headed down.
Yeah.
You're headed towards raping a man. Right? Read on.
Verse 24, behold, here is my daughter, a maiden, and his concubine. Them I will bring out now, and humble ye them, and do with them what seemeth good unto you.
So he said that he's going to bring out his daughter and his concubine. And this shows the evilness behind this people. Right? Read on.
But unto this man do not so vow a thing.
Right?
But the man would not hearken to him.
It says what?
But the man would not hearken to him.
That's what happens when you get so caught up in your love.
And they love me to my face, but they can't.
This is Gar. What's going on, brother? Pull up your pants, bro. Right?
So the man took his concubine and brought her forth unto them, and they knew her.
And they did what?
And they knew her.
And they took his concubine. Right? And they ain't just take his concubine. And that shows you the wickedness behind it, because he offered who? His daughter and his concubine, who he was married to. But they were so evil that his daughter, who was probably a virgin, wasn't enough. They wanted to defile his household. They wanted to rape his wife. Right? Read on.
And abused her.
And did what?
And abused
What did
her.
these freaky niggas do?
And abused
They
her.
abused her. That's what y'all are into. Like, just taking it from this woman is not going to be enough for you. They going to want to tie her up, strap her down. We ain't going to talk about that. What's going on, sis? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
All praises to the Most High. Right? We feeling blessed as well. Right? You know what has me feeling blessed? Right? 3 years ago, in this same exact spot, I found out who I was according to the Most High God. Right? And Lord willing, it's your day to find out who you are. Right? So what would you call yourself ethnicity-wise? Like your race? African. You said an African American. All right, so with being an African American, not only are those two land masses, but that's a name that only goes back 40 years. Right? That started in the 80s with Jesse Jackson, because he got tired of us calling ourselves what word? He got tired of us calling ourselves the word, the N-word. I'm black. It's too much of a negative word or a negative phrase. Like, so he came up with this term African American because he felt it was better for us to call ourselves by this than call ourselves by what the white man calls us. Now here's the problem with that. We can't find our pre-existing history calling ourselves African American. Because Asian people can go back to their ancestors and figure out how their ancestors lived and keep that tradition alive. Like, there's nothing that's more important to black people than tradition. Like carrying on tradition, which is why every year we go to grandmama's house to keep Christmas.
All right.
You go to granddaddy's house to keep Thanksgiving. You might have certain traditions that you do on your birthday, like blowing out the cakes. But the tradition behind all of those things aren't our people's tradition.
At all.
Right? These were all things that we were given. So what we got to do is we got to find out what was our tradition and what was the nation of people that the Most High called us. Give me Ecclesiastes chapter 17 and verse 11. So I rank 17 and 11 real fast.
Go.
We got to find out who we are, what is our heritage, and what did the Most High call us to do.
Right.
The book of Sirach, chapter 17 and verse 11.
Bring it out.
Beside this, he gave them knowledge.
He gave them what?
He gave them knowledge.
He gave them knowledge.
One thing that a lot of our people don't have is what? It's knowledge. They said if you want to hide something from a black person, do what? Put it in the book. One thing that we don't do is read. Right? We're on the internet. We're watching music videos and we watch these gang violence documentaries, and that's what we fill our head with outside of knowledge. Right? We doing?
And the law of life for inheritance.
It says that this law of life, like America has a law that works for America. Like it benefits what people? Huh? Most of which ones specifically? Not our people, right? It benefits white people. It benefits Asians. It benefits the Japanese, or that is a subset of Asian. Right? It benefits everybody outside of ourselves. Where the Lord said that we have a what? Read it again. The last part.
And the law of life for inheritance.
The Lord said that we have a law that gives us life.
Right.
And it's our heritage. To live doesn't mean that you're physically alive. Because you see where this man Joey, you see the cat right there, right? He's physically living, but he has no life in him because he's stuck on drugs. Like black people, most of our people are stuck on drugs. We've been molested, we've been raped, we have had horrible parenting, and we're stuck in what I would call these bunkers of society that we can't escape out of. Black people would be the walking dead if you could have a living version of a zombie, but that's because of what? We're not following after the laws of life.
Right.
Like, give me Deuteronomy the 7th chapter. Right? The law that he gave these people unto was his most special people. We're going to get to the name of those folks. Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6.
Bring it out.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
This word holy means separate. He means that our people are set apart. We different than everybody else.
Right.
I guarantee you, you cook better, you smell better. You've been around a white woman. You know what they smell like.
I don't even like they like men, not like they smell skin.
You see that?
Yeah, see that.
We're set apart. We're different. They crave after our black women, and we want nothing to do with them. That's in our spirit. The Lord says that we're set apart. We're more than average when it comes to everybody else. Right?
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee.
He said he made a choice out of every people that he created. He created whites, blacks. Now, when I say black, it's just a way of life. Like Hispanics, Puerto Ricans, Native Americans, they would be living in the same conditions that we do. So they would be the same people according to the Bible. However, when you deal with East Indians, you deal with Arabs, you deal with the Japanese, the Egyptians, they live a lot different of a lifestyle than blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Right? He said, out of all of those people that I created, it's something about the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that I want to choose. Right? Read on.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people.
Read it again.
Above all
Now,
people.
when America was first created, they said that every man was created to be equal. then turned around and said that we were 3/5 of a person.
All right.
Well, the Most High said what? Read that part again. Above.
Above all people.
Whereas the white man said that we're 3/5 of a person, the Most High said that we're 5/3 of a person.
That's right.
We're so much more times 2 plus 1 than everybody else. Right? Read on.
Above all people
Uh-huh.
that are upon the face of the earth.
Now, why as we get treated like garbage by everybody else, the Most High wants to treat us like princes, like kings. He even called us God several times, right? Because we're supposed to be the power of the earth. Give me Psalm chapter 82 and start at verse 6. But in order to live that lifestyle, we got to understand who we are. We got to understand who God called us so we can walk into God's calling. Like Jesus.
Deuteronomy chapter 29 and verse 1.
Get out.
These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel.
He says with the who?
With
The
the
children
children
of
of
Right,
Israel.
the Lord called us the children of Israel. We would be the Israelites. Have
That's
you ever
right.
heard the term Jew before? You would be a Jew. As an African American, you would be a Jew from the tribe of Judah.
Right.
Right? Our brothers, our Hispanic brothers, would be the northern kingdom. Right? But they would be Israelites as well. So your nationality, according to the Bible, is a child of God or an Israelite. That makes sense to you, sister? Now give me Deuteronomy 28th chapter, right? Read what you got. Psalms 82, start at verse 5.
I'm learning all this baby. I'm faithful into my church. So yes, all this you know, all this.
So you know you're an Israelite?
Oh yes, I'm into all the pieces, all that.
All right, for
I go
sure.
to Bible study and I go to Sunday school, all that.
All right.
I'm faithful to that. So I do understand what you talk about. I'm like, oh, yes.
Read Psalms 82.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 82, verse 5.
No.
They know not, neither will they
The
understand.
Lord is talking to our people. See, one thing that we don't know, even though now you in church, you might be a righteous sister, but a lot of our people are not. So they in church, but there's certain things about the God and the desires of the Most High God that they don't know or understand.
Yep.
Right? Read on.
Yep.
They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course.
Right? And because we're walking in the manner that we are, the entire earth has become evil. Because let me tell you something about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We should be ruling the kingdom of the Most High God. We should be ruling this earth right now. Because there are certain things, even though our enemies have oppressed us, even though they have killed us, even though they hung us from trees, that we would not turn around and do. We won't turn around and throw white babies into alligators, because that's not the manner of people that we were. But what did they do to us? We're not going to turn around and rape white women or white children, even though they did that to us. Right? He said, because we forgot our course, the entire course of the world has fallen out of hatch.
Yep.
Right? Read on.
Right. Verse 6.
Come on.
Bring it out.
I have said, ye are
So the
gods.
Most High said that we're the power and gods of the earth. Right? Read on.
I have said, ye are gods,
Uh-huh.
and all of you are children of the Most High.
Right? Read on.
But ye shall die like
But
men.
what?
But ye shall die like
And
men.
because we've lost our course, he said that your people are going to be on drugs. Your people are going to get killed in the middle of the streets. Y'all are going to kill each other every Friday and Saturday night because we have forgot the course of the Most High God. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 10 and start at verse 12. You can drop 28. Deuteronomy 10 and verse 12. Right? We got to see what's required from the Most High in order for us to get back on track. Right? Read that.
Deuteronomy 10 and verse 12.
Look it out.
And now Israel.
Now who?
And
now Israel.
System?
And now Israel.
Israelite, right? Read on.
What doth the Lord thy God require of thee?
There's a requirement that the Most High has for each and every one of us that he doesn't require from everybody else. Why? Because he chose us.
All right.
Read on.
But to fear the Lord thy God,
Come on.
to walk in all his ways,
Uh-huh.
and to love him,
Read on.
and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart
Now,
and with all thy soul.
what does that look like according to the Bible? Read on.
To keep the commandments of the Lord.
To do all, to fear the Most High, to walk in his statutes, means to keep his commandments. Right? So we have to show this sister some of the commandments. You know commandments, sister? You probably know a lot of them. Right? So which ones do you know? Are you familiar with? We ain't trying to quiz you. If we put you on the spot, let me know.
Yeah, because
I did.
Yeah.
I go to Deuteronomy the 14th chapter.
I
You
just got
from?
back from a trip, so it's like my.
Where you go?
I came, huh?
Where you go to?
I took the cruise, went to the Bahamas.
See that? You need to go to the Bahamas. That's out by Binyamia, man.
Yeah.
That's out by Binyamia.
Man, I learned so much just being there. Like, oh my God, yes. Yes.
You learn something there, then you come back and you learn something else.
Yep.
Like Deuteronomy the 14th day. Right, we go.
Deuteronomy chapter 14 and verse 8.
Finish.
And the swine
And the swine, there, it's a food that we love to eat for breakfast. That we love to eat on feast. What food is that?
Ham.
That's the pig.
Yep.
Christmas, Thanksgiving, we eat turkey for Thanksgiving. Right? I eat ham too. See
Ham
that?
too. Right, that's the ham.
Right. There's a thing that we love to eat that the Most High had this to say, right? We doing?
because it divided the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh,
Most High said that we shouldn't eat of the pig, right? We doing?
nor touch their dead carcass.
Right? Do you eat pork, sister? No. All praise, clap it up for you. What about seafood? You eat seafood? You don't eat seafood like that? All praise to the Most High. Right, give me Exodus chapter 35 and start at
I
verse
learned
2.
that we're not supposed to eat that. That's why I don't.
That's a righteous thing, man. Right. Clap it up for repentance. See that? Give me Exodus 35 and 2. Go together.
Exodus chapter 35 and verse 2.
Bring it out.
6 days shall work be done, but on the 7th day,
Now, this word for work just means business, right? So he says 6 days you're going to do all your business. You're going to work for who you got to work for. You're going to slave who you got to slave. You're going to buy everything that you need to buy. However, read on.
but on the 7th day,
There's a seventh day, right? Read on.
there shall be to you an holy day,
Its day is a little bit more set apart than the rest of the days, right? Read on.
a Sabbath of rest
It's a rest day. Read.
to the Lord.
So in it, right? Do it say that? Right? You keep reading. Matter of fact.
Whosoever doeth work therein,
Matter of fact, you can hold that. So this special day that's special unto the Most High, that's set apart, it said that you can't do business on. Now, what would be that seventh day?
Supposed to be Saturday.
It's supposed to be Saturday. What we usually make it with Sunday. Now, with it being Saturday, right? You just went and bought certain materials. Now, give me Nehemiah chapter 10 and start at verse 31.
Right, because what? You good, King.
Right? Nehemiah chapter 10 and start.
It's
at
the
verse
book of Nehemiah, chapter 10 and verse 31.
Bring it out.
And if the people of the land bring ware or any victuals on the Sabbath day to sell, that we would not buy it of them on the Sabbath day.
Right, so when it comes to the holy day of the Lord, that's a day that we can't buy on. So going in Walgreens and actually buying materials on this special day would actually be a sin. Right? Now you're doing a good job with the pork. You're doing a damn good job with the shrimp. Most of people love that shrimp.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the Sabbath days, what can't you do? So it's not that you can't do nothing, right? But it's business that you can't do.
Okay.
You're not supposed to work. It's a day for you to think of it like a family. This is how you want to keep it Sabbath. It's just like Sunday, right? What do you do on Sunday? You wake up, you might eat something, you go listen to your godly music, then you go to church. And after you go to church, what do? The rest of the day is yours. You can chill, you can hang out. It's just a day that we also can't cook on that day, right? Because the food already done been prepared. Auntie and grandma, they were sleeping the night before, but they had the food ready. Right? All you got to do is sit down and eat. When you keep Saturday the same exact way. When you wake up, you might listen to your godly music, you might have you some cereal. Then you go see the men of the Lord and allow them to teach you the Bible. Now, I don't know how your church might do a good job of teaching the Bible, but they got to be teaching you to keep these commandments.
Right.
Like, it's more than just not eating pork,
Right.
Because even our women are supposed to wear dresses, right? And when they pray, they're supposed to have their head covers. Most of our churches don't even teach our women how to pray.
Right. Right.
Right? Like, do you know how you're supposed to pray?
I'm learning.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm learning. Like I said, I'm a Christian in training.
Mm-hmm.
I've been all my life, but I'm still a Christian in training because I'm learning a lot of things.
Now,
That's why I go to Bible study. That's why I go to Sunday school, and that's why I go to church. I'm learning.
sure.
That's what I was told. I'm learning as I'm going. So
No, you said, and that's
I'm
how
learning
we was
more.
going over that today.
Learning more
You
and
go
more.
learn as you go. Right? Never allow anybody to make you think that you have to know anything from the start.
Right.
But here's the thing about calling yourself a Christian. Let me Acts chapter 11 and start at verse 26. Christian back then was actually an insult. Right? It was a derogatory term.
Yep.
And then just how what word we turned around and tried to make it a term of endearment. We did the same thing with the N-word, right? Nigga. We made that a term of endearment. So calling ourselves a Christian is actually an insult to who we truly are. Right? We're an Israelites.
All right.
Right, read that.
Acts chapter 11 and verse 26.
Bring it up.
And when he had found him, he brought him into Antioch. And it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people. And the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch.
Because people actually hated Christ, right? Nobody actually liked Christ. So Christ, the word Christian means a follower of Christ. So they'd be like, man, there go those Christians. There go his followers. They rock with dude. But it wasn't a term of endearment. It was a term of hatred, right? Drop over to verse 13.
Look at Acts chapter 11 and verse 13.
Bring it up.
13 and 1.
Oh, sorry. Acts chapter 13 and verse 1.
Bring it up.
Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called nigger.
That was called what?
That was called
Now,
nigger.
this is in the same exact church. This brother Barnabas was called nigger, meaning black man. So this term Christian, it was never like a term of endearment, right? Because while they called him black man, right, everybody else they was calling Christian, they had their own names, right? But give me, we're going to teach the sister how to pray. Give me 1 Corinthians 11 and 3. Give me Daniel chapter 6, and I think I want verse 10. Go ahead.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3.
Bring it out.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Who?
Is Christ.
Right? The man is always supposed to answer to Christ. Now, Christ wasn't his literal name. Like Jesus wasn't his literal name, right? Because certain letters that we have now, they didn't have back then. So his true name was Yahushua. That's how you say it in the Hebrew, right? Read on.
And the head of the woman is the man.
Right.
And the head of Christ is God.
One thing that they teach in churches is that the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are what? All the same. The Bible said what? Read that part again.
And the head of Christ is
He
God.
said that Christ, or the Most High, actually outranks Christ. It's his Father. Like if I say me and my Father are one, what do I person? I'm saying if I say me and like my literal dad, like me and him is one, I mean we really the same person. So when it says that me and my Father are one, that's meaning that they're one on the same page. It's just like in Genesis when it says a man and woman shall leave his father and his mother and shall cleave into his wife and they shall be what? One flesh. Now, if I go and marry my wife, are we literally one person? No. This means that we're on one accord, right? So it says that the head of Christ is the Most High, right? Read on.
Verse 4, every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head.
So as you see that we're out here teaching, or even when we send up prayers, we have our top of our heads uncovered, right? Read on. Right. Every woman.
But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head.
So when the woman prays, she's actually supposed to pray or listen to the word with her head covered. Because what you're doing right now is lawful according to the Bible. That was the way the word was supposed to come out. So as I have nothing on my head, the sister is supposed to have her head covered. Right? I think that's on that. That's why you see the ladies at the front of the church with the long, big old hats. But that was also something that they taught against too. Right? Trying to be fancy in the church. Right? You know, yeah.
The book of Daniel chapter 6 and verse 10.
Bring it up.
Now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem.
Towards Jerusalem. Now, when the Most High tells you to pray, when you read 1 Kings, the 8th chapter, it talks about how you're supposed to pray. You gotta have a sincere heart. You're supposed to confess to the Most High. Not only that, if I'm trying to talk to you and I'm facing this way, are you gonna hear what I'm saying? You're not, right? So when we speak to the Most High, He wants us to be facing where, right?
Toward Jerusalem.
Towards Jerusalem. So it's not that we pray up, we pray towards our holy land, because that's where the Lord set His heart at. So when you pray in America, you would pray towards the east, because that's where Jerusalem is. So you pray with your head covered, right? And you pray towards the east,
Right.
and you pray to the Most High through Yahushua. Which I'm pretty sure you know they say in Jesus' name. That's basically what that
His
is.
name we pray.
Yeah,
Right.
his name we pray. Right, so that's how you would pray. You remember what we said? What did we say? Yeah.
Hold on now. Wait. One thing you have to understand, I have I'm right now I have aneurysm,
Oh,
so I have really bad memory. And I
my fault. I
I
apologize.
felt no. I had a stroke from this. So a lot of stuff I just, even though y'all sitting here telling me everything, constantly I sit here, but it's just I just can't. You know what I'm saying? My short term, I just like real bad.
That's why we
But I
here.
do like to hear. I do like to learn. I do like to understand. But it's be hard for me to remember things. I just, it's with phone calls and everything. I don't do a lot of that.
That's me. People forget it because some of us have wives, some of us have children, some of us are teaching on the daily. We understand. What somebody forget. Like when I was being taught, I was one of those cats. You had to bang it into my head
Okay.
because I didn't get it. So I understand why someone else. So when you pray, as a woman, you have your head covered and you pray towards the east. Right. So that's how you would pray. Other than that, it sounds like you're doing well, sis.
Oh yes.
You gotta keep
yes.
fighting a good fight. And
Oh,
what did we
yes.
say your nationality was? Start with an I.
It's right.
All praise. You got any questions?
Nope. I just thank you guys. I appreciate that. And most, yes, praise. All right. Y'all have a good rest of your day.
Too.
You too.